You didn't see that. If you saw that, no, you didn't. Oh my God, we had a little moment there. We had a little moment. Hold on. Hi everybody, welcome to the stream. I don't know why I'm so far over to the left because the last time I had a collab and I had to make room for my lovely friends' big booties. Haha. Let me see here. Here's what sucks about being a VTuber. It's just so hard, guys. Being a VTuber, being a content creator. It's so difficult. I gotta turn on the camera and I gotta do all this stuff and it's so hard. No, I'm kidding. I just have the tendency to put, as you can probably tell, way too many. Oh my God, I'm your biggest fan. Hi, honey. Oh my God, my wife is in chat. Hello. I have the tendency to put way too many objects in the same scene, as you can probably tell, and it makes finding things a little bit difficult. Anyway, hi everybody, welcome to the stream. We're doing like a super duper early stream this lovely Saturday because I had plans that got canceled. I was supposed to go out and I was supposed to go out with my sister. We were gonna go to IKEA because she's finally getting her PC set up after like a full year. My sister may finally make her return to streaming, and then I can and then I can torture her with all the stuff that I've learned in her years long absence. But we were supposed to go out and go find her a desk from IKEA. But for those of you who are unaware, my sister is she's kind of like a Victorian child. Like not quite like post like bubonic plague, you know. I know that's like way before the Victorian era, but just like bear with me here. Like like not quite post bubonic plague, but like you know how like we're in the stage of like COVID right now where it's like, you know, like it hasn't been over long enough for like everybody to be like totally cool. Like you can just go get COVID whenever you want. Not that you can go get the bubonic plague whenever you want. I don't know what I'm doing. The point is she's very frail. She's very frail. She doesn't, she's not like, she's like, if she were in a movie, she would like all the adult actors around her would be like, oh my God, such a frail and gentle child. She'd be like some kind of like chosen one, second coming angel who just wasn't ready to be part of this human experience. But anyway, so she wasn't feeling good. So my plans got canceled. Teehee. Anyway, and since my plans got canceled, and I wanted to stream last night, but I didn't. Actually, and I wanted to stream the night before that, and I didn't. I figured we'd stream today. We don't have any plans today, like none at all. Like oh no, we have one plan. We're gonna watch the new Let Me Know video about the JFK assassination. That's all we're gonna do today. And then if we find any other interesting little videos after that, we'll watch those too. But yeah, videos, that's the plan today because I don't know, I love watching videos with you guys. Like something about that experience is it's so fun. I love it so much. Whew. I gotta stretch. We gotta do some housekeeping. Da-da-da-da. Actually, you know what? I don't know how long we're gonna be sitting here, so let's throw on some BGM. Ayo, Family Lamborghini, what kind of BGM you want? I don't know, just like I don't know, man. Just get the wooden train whistle and go to town, I guess. Here, I'll get my kazoo. Now I'm really feeling it. Ugh! Sorry, that was really loud and it jump scared me. I need to. Second. First of all, we're gonna pause it, and then we're going to go into here. We're gonna hit properties, media player, or BGM. We're gonna go. I'm gonna bring it way down. Meow 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 meow. Okay, of course, y'all give me the updates if that's a little bit too loud, too quiet. You let me know. I still have my nighttime backdrop on. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It shouldn't be nighttime. Do I have anything to put there in its place though? Can I just find like a stock JPEG of like a daytime thing going on? Wait. Oh, what if I popped into studio mode real quick? Oh, no. We gotta do housekeeping first. I said we're gonna do housekeeping, so we have to do housekeeping. Okay. Hello everybody, thank you so much for coming to the stream today. Thank you so much for stopping by. If we have any artists in chat, you can post any stream related art to hashtag Pictograph on Twitter. And if I remember to, I will look at it at the end of the stream and I will retweet it and make you so happy because you're just that parasocial with me. Anyway, I appreciate any and all art that comes my way. That is hashtag Pictograph. If you're a little nervous about posting it publicly on Twitter, we have a Discord channel and our Discord server too called Pictograph. You can access that by hitting !Discord in chat. Oh my god, thank you so much for this sub. I love your streak. Thank you, honey. I love you. Love of my life. Thank you. Thank you. Quero. We have a Discord. You can join the Discord and it's super cool and fun and nothing really happens in there, but you know, it's kind of a work in progress. Give me a break. What else do I do? Oh yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Frogberries, exact same way that it is spelled here. I refuse to call it X. That's Twitter, baby. That is Twitter. Gotta support the wife. Ah, thank you. It's so sweet of you. Oh my god. Sorry, I got flashbanged by thoughts of my loving wife, and I forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord. Oh, right. My streams will always be free to access, but if you are feeling generous and it is financially safe for you to do so, you can pass me a little tip at !Donate, !Tip in chat. There's also a little button on my Twitch about page that you can click. Same thing for my throne, !Throne in chat. Everything on my wish list is crowdfunded, so you can pitch in as much or as little as you'd like, and it all comes back around to helping out the stream. Thank you so much to any of you who choose to engage with that. Thank you. I think that wraps it up for housekeeping. Question mark. Yeah, I think that's it. Enjoy the stream. We're gonna watch some videos and probably talk a lot because that's my specialty. I love talking. And I really gotta think of a script for that shit. I really gotta start thinking of a script. But you really couldn't pay me to because I'm built different. Pippy sippy. How's your Saturday going? I went out and I bought some milk. Actually, what happened was I went to sleep and then I woke up and then I said, hey, I've got some mac and cheese in the pantry, but I don't think I have any milk, so I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna buy some milk. Well, I got all ready and I went out, and before I hit the store, I was like, wait a second. It's Saturday, so the Chinese buffet is open. My Chinese buffet is like, it's kind of like a business in the Harvest Moon series. It's open all days except Monday. Like it's Saturday, the Chinese buffet is open. I can get Chinese buffet for lunch. I went to the Chinese buffet for lunch. Instead of doing the mac and cheese, even though I said that I'd be cooking more often, even though, okay, Kraft mac and cheese technically isn't really cooking, but whatever, it's fine. Yeah, I went out and I got the milk anyway, because I know I'm gonna wake up one of these days and I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I want that mac and cheese so bad, why didn't I buy that milk? So I bought the milk anyway. I got some stuff that my parents wanted. They were like, hey, while you're out, can you get some? Yeah, whatever. Yeah. I can get some stuff because I love and respect my parents. So yeah, that's basically all I've done today. I went to the Chinese buffet, and I got some stuff at the store, and that really is it. But that's okay. Sometimes you just need a sleepy Saturday. I was okay. So those of you who are unaware, I actually just got back from a trip, a fun little trip to go see some fun little guys. I had a lot of fun. But the issue is that I spent the last like almost a week. It was like 6 days, 5 nights, 6 days, in a different time zone. So I came home and like my internal body clock was all messed up, and I was late for work 2 days in a row. The second day was not as bad as the first. The first day I woke up like 2 hours late. I'm supposed to wake up between like 6:30 and 7:30, for, you know, so that I have enough time to kind of like, you know, get a shower and get ready and all that. But I did not wake up until 9:30, which is, I am well and already supposed to be at work by 9:30. So oopsie daisy, that's crazy how that happened. And then the second day, I was just like a little bit late, but hey, we don't have to talk about that. I've been at my job for a long time. So they do kind of trust me. I'm not late very often, so they were kind of willing to let it slide. But I was like, haha, sorry about that. I was too busy being a gamer and having fun this week to really care about my job, which is not surprising. Usually I'm too busy being a gamer to care about my job anyway. But it was especially true this week. So what happened is, I was like, you know what? I was late the last 2 days. I really need to just get some sleep, right? So that's what I do. I go to sleep last night, and it's even raining. We had this little thunderstorm happening, and it's super loud. And I'm like, hell yeah, brother, this is about to be the life. Like, I'm about to sleep so hard. And I kept waking up in the middle of the night, like I couldn't sleep. What the hell? Come on, man. It's like, okay. I understand that it's probably because I slept so much, and I even made that point. They were like, haha. I was like, I was chilling in the Discord call, and all my buddies were like, haha, just go to sleep, bro. Like, just go to sleep. If you're EP, go to sleep. Because I was very EP. I was like, oh my god, I can feel it. Like, it was with Common and Gotchi, and they were playing Valorant and listening to music, and I was still dozing off. I had those all those explosions and shit in the background, and I was like, I was still so tired, even with all the fucking explosions and sound design and bullets and shit happening right next to my ear because I have my AirPods in. My chest feels compressed. I need to stretch it. Ooh, okay. I was like, you know what? Yeah, for once I'm not gonna be stubborn. For once I'm not gonna be that guy. I am gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna go eat. And I kept waking up in the middle of the night. I was like, come on, man. I had my blackout curtains closed, like crazy. I literally had everything set up to be able to have a really great sleep, and I still was like, perceive. Okay, I can fall back asleep. Perceive. It's crazy. And honestly, now that I think about it, the lightning was probably the thunder and shit was probably super loud. That's probably why I couldn't. Hello. When I ask you to loop, I mean I want you to loop. Long loop. There we go. Anyway. Yeah, I had a weirdly hard time sleeping last night, which makes me bitter and angry, but it's okay because I'll try again tonight. That's the crazy thing about not getting enough sleep at night, is that you can always try again tonight. How insane is that? You can always just give it another go when the sun goes down. I love sleeping so much. That's just my favorite thing in the world. I could die, but there's so much sleep to be had. I still haven't done my whole half lifetime of sleep yet. So what's the point? I have to keep going. I have to keep going because imagine how crazy it is when you have a super long day, but it's not quite done yet, but you've got a little bit of free time, so you decide you're gonna take a nap, and then the next few hours are the hardest sleep you've ever gotten in your life. You're just just absolutely out, and you wake up feeling so refreshed. That's oh man, I love the human experience. It's so nice. The being alive is so good. It's so good and so cool. There's so many little things to love about life and the universe. Oh my god, I love sleeping. I love beds. I think beds are the single best thing that man ever made. Oh man, I need a new mattress, by the way. I keep asking for a new mattress. Parents are like, oh, we want to get you something big for Christmas. What do you want? And I'm like, a mattress. And they were like, oh, okay. But we can just wait for a President's Day sale, right? President's Day comes, President's Day goes, no mattress. I just want a mattress, man. Anybody wants to pitch me $500 for a new mattress right now? That'd be great. That'd be great. So that way I don't have to dip into my savings. I need a mattress, okay? I'm trying to save up $2,300 so I can go get my Adobe certifications all in line and stuff, and so that the IRS doesn't come hounding me for my gaming PC. Why'd you use your college fund to buy a gaming PC? Oh, for college reasons. I actually had to engage in some level of education this year. But it's expensive. It's so expensive. Fuck. I don't know what the hell I just pushed. Wait. just some lotion. I was like, I don't know what I just pushed off my desk, but I sure don't care. And I was like, but wait, what if it was like a liquid or something? So I had to look. It wasn't. It was a container of lotion. I know I sound kind of icky right now. I'm not sick, I swear. That trip I went on, there were a lot of cats at the place that I stayed in. I'm allergic to cats. I have a very mild cat allergy. It's usually I don't notice. I have 2 cats myself and they don't bother me at all. But when there's like so many cats, I swear I was starting to wake up and my throat was like burning and I was like, oh my god, this can't be happening to me. But you know, my body takes like a really long time to like fight off like congestion and stuff, just because like I'm not the most immune systemly sound person in the world. So like I'm still feeling like, even though it's been like several days since I got home, you figure I got home on Wednesday, it's Saturday now. It's been a couple of days. Even though it's been a few days, I can still feel it. It's like, it's better than it was. Like I can breathe and stuff, but like I still sound icky and shit. Okay, so let's see here. The videos that we're going to be watching today, or at least the video that we're going to be watching today. There it is. It's front page. It's front page news, baby girl. It is the new Lemon-No video. I almost said lemonade. I've been drinking a lot of lemonade the last couple of days. Oh, I love lemonade. My dad made some like homemade lemonade for when I got home from my trip. Oh, it's so good. So good. Anyway, it is the new Lemon-No video about the JFK assassination. It's been less than 2 weeks and it already has 5.7 million views because Lemon-No watchers stay winning. We fucking stay winning. For those of you unaware, Lemon-No is a Swedish YouTuber. I almost said VTuber. Is a Swedish YouTuber who just makes videos about shit, and I love it. He has this like really nice, like relaxing voice as he just like reads off like information. I don't know. I love it. I love it. Oh my god, I'm the fucking eepster of all time right now. I was trying to see if there was anything that I could say about Lemon-No, because I've been watching Lemon-No for a couple of years. But it really isn't, because he really just like his upload schedule is so like sporadic. See this, the Kennedy assassination inside the book depository came out 12 days ago, and his last video, Bygone Visions of Cosmic Neighbors, came out a year ago. He uploads like once or twice a year. Ugh, and it drives me insane, but it's okay. It's okay. As long as I can eat. Finally, some good fucking food. As long as I can eat my fill, everything's fine. Okay, let me hop into studio mode real quick. Make sure everything is in line and in order. Window capture. Kennedy assassination. Condense. Pull out. Perfect. Lovely. Meow. Meow, 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 meow. Cool. Awesome. I'm gonna bring this up to full volume. BGM, properties, JFK video, teehee. Perfect.
Just let me know.
Can I pull back? Okay.
Right about here, in Dallas, Texas, American President John F. Kennedy was assassinated on November 22nd, 1963.
Yeah, where were you guys on November 27th, 1963?
Harvey Oswald, after being held in custody for less than 2 days, Oswald himself would meet a violent end. According to a subsequent investigation, Oswald had fired 3 rounds from the Texas Schoolbook Depository. Police recovered 3 shell casings and a bolt-action rifle from the 6th floor of the building. But the shooting of Oswald sparked immediate suspicions of conspiracy. Suspicions that persist to this day and have driven most Americans to reject the government's conclusion that Oswald acted alone.
You guys want to watch the Wendigo, the Wendigo video after this?
Conspiracy take many shapes and forms.
Because that's the one that really sold me. I'm like, yeah, it's an inside job.
Is that in this video, I want to zoom in and focus on a very narrow slice of this case. Specifically, the events surrounding the Texas Schoolbook Depository.
We can just have like a JFK video day.
Inside this building, from where the shots that killed the president are believed to have been fired.
Like when your teacher like gives up on the lesson plan for the day, so they just like pull in the TV and turn on Bill Nye. That's what we're doing, but for like JFK assassination conspiracy videos. Tippy.
In September of 1963, a young man named Wesley Frazier received a call from an employment agency. There was a potential job opening at the Texas Schoolbook Depository. On September the 13th, Frazier made his way from Irving, Texas, down to central Dallas.
Crazy fucking drive for a 9 to 5.
He met with Roy Truly, the superintendent of the building, and was hired on the spot.
Damn.
Back in Irving, Frazier lived with his older sister, Jeannie Randall. A few houses down the street lived a woman named Ruth Payne. On October the 14th, both Randall and Payne had a cup of coffee at the house of a neighbor. Payne brought along a friend and Russian immigrant named Marina Oswald, the wife of Lee Oswald. Marina could barely speak any English and had been staying with Payne for a few weeks, partly due to her husband's unemployment.
The subject of Lee looking for work and that he hadn't found work for a week came up while we were having coffee. And Mrs. Randall mentioned that her younger brother, Wesley Frazier, thought they needed another person at the Texas Schoolbook Depository where Wesley worked.
Payne and Marina returned home, spoke with Roy Truly over the phone, and secured a job interview on behalf of Lee Oswald. The following morning,
I have 2 things to say about this. First of all, I think he mentions this because I've seen parts of this video, but like not the whole thing. I'm watching it on stream because I literally like, no matter how much time I dedicate to it, I just like can't get myself to like complete the video. So we're watching it on stream together. That's what we're doing. Secondly, if they like, wait, hold on. That was like a bonus prologue point. The first point is that like, I think he mentions this, but like if this whole thing was like a setup from like this long before, that's fucking insane. I cast massive ballsack on Pippi. Your balls are now large and heavy, Pippi. Enjoy this curse. Finally, something to fidget with while I'm sitting in this chair. Like, you just hear me like going, like it's Donkey Konga. Anyway, hey Hitsuji. First of all, this is insane if it was a setup from this long before, right? Secondly, you can't do that in the modern day. Like in 2023, if you call an employer to like get a job on behalf of somebody else, they'll laugh at you. They'll be like, okay. They won't take you seriously. Like, if other people could get jobs for me, do you know how easy my life would be? Come on, man.
Down to the Book Depository and began his first day of work on October the 16th.
I Pippi, love you and appreciate you. I love you and appreciate you too, Hitsuji.
So, an acquaintance with whom
Remember to stay hydrated. Pippi, sippy.
Currently staying had a casual conversation with a neighbor. That neighbor happened to have a brother who recently got employed at the Book Depository. This prompted his wife to ask the acquaintance to call the superintendent of the building to inquire about vacancies.
I told Mrs. Payne that to send Oswald down, and I would talk to him, that I didn't have anything in mind for him of a permanent nature, but if he was suited, we could possibly use him for a brief time.
The position was not only temporary, but only existed due to a temporary shortage of staff.
It was the end of our fall rush. If it hadn't existed a week or 2 weeks longer, or if we had not been using some of our regular boys putting down this plywood floor, we would not have had any need for Lee Oswald at that time, which is a tragic thing for me to think about.
But it gets even more tragic because Oswald was not the only one to apply for a job.
I might have sent Oswald to work in a warehouse 2 blocks away, Oswald and another fellow reported for work on the same day, and I needed one of them for the depository building. I picked Oswald.
Ooh.
If Oswald was somehow entangled in a conspiracy, and the aim of that conspiracy was for him to become employed at the Book Depository, this roundabout sequence of events is a very strange way to go about it. As the name implies, the Texas School Book Depository was in the business of selling books. For $1.25 an hour, Oswald's job was to prepare the books for shipping. He did so by
$1.25 an hour. Hold on, what is that in like? Hold on, what is $1.25? What was it? 1963? Hold on, inflation calculator. What is that today? Give me a second. $1.25 in November of 1963 versus, what is it, August of 2023? Wait. Oh, shit. $111.25. No data available for the month and year selected. Girl, wait, hold on. Oh shit. If that were today, he'd be making $12.38 an hour, which I think is minimum wage in some states. Bro, literally, the way minimum wage hasn't changed. Oh my god, okay. That's funny as fuck. All right.
The books between the upper floors and the first. The building had 3 elevators, 2 staircases, and was 7 stories tall. In the northwest corner, 1 stairway and 2 freight elevators provided access to all 7 floors. A small passenger elevator near the front entrance stopped at level 4, while stories 1 and 2 were connected
Wait, why?
to the second flight.
Why did it only stop at the 4th floor?
Lacking a driver's license, Oswald relied on Wesley Frazier to carpool between Irving and Dallas every Friday evening and Monday morning.
Oh
He spent
no.
workdays at a rooming house in Dallas, while spending the weekends with his wife and daughters in Irving.
Okay, I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but like when I have to rely on somebody else consistently for like rides everywhere, I feel like really bad. Like maybe it's like because I do have a history of like people like making me feel bad for that kind of thing. It's like maybe it's just like that talking, but it's like, oh, I hate relying on people for
On a Thursday
transportation.
evening, November the 21st, the day before the assassination, Oswald decided to deviate from this routine.
I was standing there on the first floor getting the orders in, and
I hate being a
said,
problem.
"Could I
Yeah.
ride home with you this afternoon?" And I said,
Asking for, I'd
"Sure."
rather die than ask
Like
for
I
help.
told you, you can go home with me anytime you want to. Like I say, anytime you want to go see your wife, that is all right with me. Lee had never gone home in the middle of the week before, so I asked him why. And
This
he
guy's a
said
real
that he
bro.
was going home to get some curtain rods for his apartment. I asked if he was going home on Friday as well, and he said no.
Because he's
Frazier
going to
drove
see
Oswald back to
Jesus.
Irving, where he arrived unannounced at the house.
He's
on the
going to
Thursday.
jail.
Both Payne and Marina were surprised to see Oswald on a Thursday. They assumed he'd come to make amends with Marina due to an argument they had had a few days before.
Did your husband give any reason for coming home on Thursday?
He said that he was lonely because he hadn't come the preceding weekend and he wanted to make his peace with me.
Was anything said about curtain rods or his taking curtain rods to town the following day?
No, I didn't have any.
Wow.
He didn't say anything like that.
No.
Fucking
The
liar.
next day,
Men ain't
Oswald said goodbye
shit.
to his wife
Damn.
and left the Payne residence about 7:15. Atop a dresser in the bedroom, he left behind his wedding ring. Oswald was next seen walking down
Grim
the
Eber
street
got me,
behind
but I
the
barely
ring.
escaped their
Carrying a
clutch.
package.
Didn't leave me unscathed though.
He was soon
Aw,
joined by
I'm sorry.
Frazier,
I'm glad
and
you're
the two
up.
of them took a seat in his car
Did you sleep
to
well?
begin their commute.
When you got in the car, did you say anything to Oswald, or did he say anything to you?
I noticed there was a package lying on the back seat. I didn't pay too much attention, and I said, "What's the package, Lee?" And he said, "Curtain rods." And I said, "Oh yes, you told me you were going to bring some today."
Not only was Oswald carrying a large package, but he'd forgotten to bring a lunch.
He large package.
When he rode with me, I say he always brought lunch, except that one day on November 22nd. He didn't bring his lunch.
You're tossing and turning on. I was literally just talking about that. Me too.
I asked him where was his lunch, and he said he was going to buy his lunch that day.
They arrived in Dallas a few minutes before 8.
okay, literally, I don't like blame anybody in this situation for just like not like, you know, like being there, for not like being present, not understanding. But like this, like once you see like all the pieces together, this guy becomes the worst liar you have like ever seen in your life. Like bro lied his ass off to his wife. He lied his ass off to his coworkers. It's insane how nobody caught this guy in the beginning. Like what the fuck? I'll give you a large package. It's funny. It's a funny little joke. Funny little phallic joke. Banned.
8 o'clock. Typically, they would walk together from the parking lot to the book depository. But on this particular Friday, Oswald grabbed his curtain rods and rushed ahead into the building.
Yeah, his curtain rods. Very extremely rifle-shaped curtain rods.
Their colleague, Jack Doherty.
Did you see Oswald come to work that morning?
Yes, when he first came into the door.
Did he have anything in his hands or arms?
Well, not that I could see of.
Fraser and Doherty are the only two people known to have seen Oswald entering the building. Fraser
Wait, so what did he do with them?
Doherty says he was not. Contradictions like this one will become a recurring theme throughout the rest of this video.
Oh my god.
We'll take a closer look at the missing curtain rods in a later chapter, but for now, let's stay with Oswald.
Fine, if we have to. I am curious though. What happened to the curtain rods?
As the morning progressed, Oswald was seen working as normal. Roy Truly described him as an above-average worker who mostly kept himself. In fact, he was a bit of a mystery to his colleagues.
On the way back and forth between Irving and Dallas, did you talk very much to each other?
No, sir, not very much. He was one of these types that just didn't talk.
I was acquainted with Lee Oswald during the time he was employed at the book depository, but I never did get to know him well. He did not mix with the other employees and did not appear to want to make friends with me or any of the others.
Did you ever speak to Oswald?
Yes, sir.
Did he ever speak to you?
No, sir.
He never replied to you?
No, sir.
Would you say he was unfriendly?
Yes, sir, I would.
Yikes.
But there were exceptions to his record.
Something about the word like unfriendly. It's like it hits harder than if like somebody were to call you like a jerk or something. Somebody called me unfriendly, I think I'd cry.
Elm Street.
Oswald was standing up in the window, and I went to the window also, and he asked me, what were people gathering around the corner for? And I told him that the president was supposed to pass in the morning, and he asked me did I know which way he was coming. And I told him, yes, he'll probably come down Main and turn on Houston, and then back again on Elm. Then he said, oh, I see. And that was all.
It's a brief yet fascinating moment. It almost seems as though Oswald had no idea that Kennedy would pass by the book depository. This was indeed the case for some of his colleagues. Jarman himself had only been made aware of the fact shortly before he spoke with Oswald. There's no doubt that Oswald knew the president was coming to Dallas.
Did we all not sleep well last night? What the fuck happened? What happened in the stars? Wait, is Mercury in Gatorade? Hold on. You know, anytime we have an inconvenience on this channel, we have to ask if Mercury is in Gatorade. Is Mercury in Gatorade? No. 20 more days until you can have an inconvenience that you can blame on the stars, so sleep well, everybody. I'm not gonna talk about it because it was gross. Yeah, I have nightmares like that sometimes, where it's just like, what the fuck? Like, anyway. This situation right here is absolutely crazy because he's like leaning like on his like, you know, on his like extremely like gun-shaped box of curtain rods. He's like, oh, what's everybody around here for? Like, what's going on? And he's like, oh, well, the president is going to be here soon. He's like, oh, the president. I mean, well, which way? If you know, like, if you were the president, and you wanted the most people to see you, not that anybody would want a reason to see the president. Yeah, I just want to shake his hand. If you, like, which way would you come? That's fucking insane. Just like when you're an outside observer and you see all this, you're like, oh my god, like he is the most like, I am definitely not going to kill the president of the United States man. Which way, Western man? I have to end the stream. The keys are just not being funnier than me. Stop it.
Whether he knew the route of the motorcade is much more difficult to prove. The route of the motorcade had only been finalized a few days before the visit and hinged upon its destination. Kennedy was supposed to attend a banquet in
Hold on,
Dallas,
I'm gonna get a tissue.
no one could agree on a venue. It came down to two options: the Trade Mart northwest of downtown or the Women's Building to the east. One of the more vocal proponents of the Trade Mart was Texas Governor John Connally, and after much back and forth, he finally got his way on November the 14th. Had the Women's Building been selected, the motorcade would have sped through Dealey Plaza, east on Main Street, significantly further away and perpendicular to the Book Depository. Not to mention that First Lady Jacqueline would have been seated between the building and the president.
Oh, he did
The
it.
selection of the Trade Mart meant that the motorcade would now head west on Main Street and make these turns through Dealey Plaza to reach the northbound lanes on the freeway. Now, these turns could still have been avoided had the motorcade continued like so and not taken the freeway. But
Ain't
since
no
the
way.
freeway was the more scenic and expedient route, it was the more attractive choice.
Ain't
All
no
this to say,
way.
The success of the assassination was largely dependent upon the selection of the Trade Mart. It might therefore be tempting to cast suspicion upon Governor Connally, but it should be noted that
Who does he
worked
look like?
in the press.
He looks like Ted Cruz. He looks almost exactly like Ted Cruz. That's creepy. I don't like that.
Limousine along with the Kennedys.
Oh my
and suffered
God.
grave injuries during the shooting. Not only that, but
I hate
Connally
that.
was actually opposed to a motorcade and favored a more direct route from the airport to the Trade Mart, a brief trip that would have bypassed Dealey Plaza altogether. He was unfortunately overruled by Kennedy himself, who wanted to see and be seen by the people of Dallas.
Nothing
Okay, so all that
bad
was happening
ever
behind the
happens to
scenes,
the
but as far as
Kennedys.
the public was
Wah!
aware, there wasn't even going to be a motorcade. As late as November the 15th, the Dallas Morning News reported that a motorcade seemed unlikely. But the very next day, the parade was finally confirmed. While
Damn.
the precise route followed by maps and detailed descriptions was not officially disclosed until November the 19th, someone familiar with Dallas could have approximated the route a few days in advance. That is to say, the earliest point a member of the public could have deduced that Kennedy would be driven past the Book Depository was November the 16th. less
That's
than a week
insane.
before the visit.
That's crazy.
There's a good chance that Oswald saw these articles because he'd been observed reading political columns in the very same newspapers. Furthermore, we know from other aspects of Oswald's life that he was politically inclined.
Well, I have studied Marxist philosophy, yes, sir, and also other philosophers.
But are you a Marxist? I think you did admit on an earlier radio interview that you consider yourself...
Sorry, I'm blowing my nose. I don't want to be gross next to my mic.
I am a Marxist. That is correct. But that does not mean, however, that I'm a...
That's a death sentence in 60s America.
What is the difference between the two?
Well, there's a great deal of difference. Several American parties in several countries are based on Marxism, such as Ghana. Certain countries have characteristics of a socialist system, such as Great Britain with its socialized medicine. These, then, are the differences between an outright communist country and countries which adhere to leftist and Marxist principles.
What a boring talker, wow. You let this guy kill the president? Damn.
So while it's understandable for someone apolitical to be taken off guard by a presidential visit, it makes far less sense for someone like Oswald.
yeah, exactly.
The day before the assassination that you were describing, was there any discussion between you and your husband about President Kennedy's trip or proposed trip to Texas?
That's your killer? This your assassin?
I asked whether he knew where the president would speak and told him that I would very much like to hear him and to see him. I asked him how this could be done, but he said he didn't know how to do that and didn't enlarge any further on the subject.
Had there ever
This
been...
was also somewhat unusual, his lack of desire to talk about that subject any further.
How did you think it was unusual? Could you explain that?
She's snitching on him.
That he didn't talk a lot about it. He merely said something as an answer and did
No wonder he killed the president. He needed something interesting about himself.
Usually, he would discuss a matter of that kind and show considerable interest.
Yes, of course. He would have told me who would be there and where this would take
She's
place.
like... She does not care. She's digging into him.
Oswald was thinking when he spoke with James Jarman shortly before the assassination. But it is worth...
Yeah, bro was literally a
that
background
Oswald was
character.
hired on October the 15th.
Said, fuck, I need to be a protagonist now. What do I do? I know. I'll kill John F. Kennedy. Yeah, this is insane. If any of this is connected, that's absolutely bonkers crazy. NPC ass dude. And not even like one of like the custom NPCs, like he just looks the same as every other unimportant guy in the game.
Plywood floor on the 6th floor of the Book Depository. Every once in a while they would catch a glimpse of Oswald.
I saw Lee Oswald shortly before lunchtime. He was by himself with a piece of paper in his hand. I had nothing to say to him, but some of the other male employees teased him and told him he ought to go get a haircut. Lee Oswald just laughed at this remark.
Shortly before noon, it was time for lunch. For a bit of fun, they decided to race the 2 elevators down to ground level. As they began descending, they observed Oswald now standing on the 5th floor. He shouted for them to stop or to close the gate to the elevator upon reaching the 1st floor.
Why did they name him Lee? Bro, I don't know.
Then realized he'd forgotten his jacket and cigarettes up on the 6th floor.
Isn't he an immigrant though? Or is it just his wife?
About to return to
I don't remember.
Given spotted Oswald approaching.
Lee was coming from the
Wait, why is his portrait in color? None of the other ones are in color.
Where he walked to?
Well, no, sir. I didn't pay much attention. I was getting ready to get on the elevator, and I say, "Boy, are you going downstairs?"
What did he say to you?
I say, "It's near lunchtime," and he said, "No, sir. When you get downstairs, close the gate to the elevator." That meant the elevator on the west side. You can pull both gates down, and it'll come up by itself.
What else did he say?
That is all. I said, "Okay," and got on the elevator.
And with that, Givens became the last person inside the Book Depository known to have seen Oswald before the assassination. At least, that's the official story. The encounter was fixed at 11:55, more than half an hour before the shooting. But other employees claim to have seen Oswald in other parts of the building around the same time or even later than Givens. Givens himself provided conflicting accounts. But I'm getting ahead of myself. This encounter notwithstanding, Givens was not the last person to visit the 6th floor. Shortly after Givens had left, Bonnie Williams grabbed his lunch and went upstairs. He sat down right about here to await the president's arrival.
Now, when you were sitting by the window, could you see?
Bro, literally settled himself next to an assassin, like a guy with a gun and intent to kill the president without even knowing it. He's gonna chill and eat his lunch. Oh, hey, Dope. I didn't even realize. Hi, welcome in. Literally just without even realizing it, sat down. That's crazy. That's insane. That is insane.
Down towards the southeast corner?
No, sir. I couldn't see anything as I remember.
Oh, here's another portrait in color. Okay, all right.
I could see from there would be
Not all of them are.
the window because the boxes were stacked up.
Did you see anyone else up there that day?
No, I did not.
The southeast corner is the location from where the shots that killed the president are believed to have been fired, the so-called sniper's nest. Williams says he was alone, but admits his view was obstructed by tall stacks of boxes. Meanwhile, down by the main entrance,
another colored man with a colored portrait. Shut up.
An elderly white man at the
Hold on. Wait. Coincidence? I think not. Hold on. I have evidence against you. What time? We're at 1841. Okay, hold on. This one's in black and white. What say you? What say you, Common? I think it's crazy though that like there used to be a time where like colored photos were like hit or miss, you know, like I don't know, man. I don't know what I would do. I would think it's witchcraft. I'd be like, what is going on? I know the history of photography is a lot older than I always presume it is though, so who knows? Anyway.
I met an elderly white man at the entrance of the building who
I met an elderly white man.
The man was very old and feeble and could hardly make it up the steps. About 5 minutes
roasted.
later, I saw this man leave the building and enter an old Buick automobile with 3 elderly white women. The Buick then drove away.
Did you see him talk to anyone in the building?
No, he went straight out.
This individual was never identified and is the only unknown person known to have entered the Book Depository before the shooting. After finishing his lunch up on the 6th floor, Bonnie Williams heard the voices of James Jarman and Harold Norman emanating from the floor below. Feeling a bit lonely, Williams went down to the 5th floor and joined his two colleagues. The exact time of Williams' departure is unclear, but it was likely no more than 10 or even 5 minutes before the shooting.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Below, a sea of spectators lined the streets of Elm in Houston. Every once in a while, one of them would
Do you think Oswald knew he was there? Do you think, like, had he stayed, do you think Oswald was like internally prepping to kill him too? Because that's absolutely crazy. Like that is like that kind of thing, like those sorts of situations that you find yourself in where it's like, oh my God, had I done like this, or like not done that, I would have been absolutely screwed. Those kinds of situations like scare the shit out of me. Like those are so scary.
Glance up at the Book Depository. Indeed, Jarman, Williams, and Norman were spotted on multiple occasions, leaning out the far east windows on the 5th floor. But movement could also be seen on the floor above them, a floor that, by all accounts, was now supposed to be empty.
I love the sound design of this video. It's so cool.
Awaiting the motorcade by the east curb of Houston was a young, newlywed couple named Arnold and Barbara Rowland. Some 15 minutes before the shooting, Arnold spotted a white man in the westernmost window on the 6th floor of the Book Depository. The man was holding a rifle, his gaze locked at Houston. Despite standing a few meters away from an officer, Arnold chose not to report the gunman.
Did it ever enter your mind that you should
look at this man's dumbass haircut? I hate that.
Vision that you had seen?
Really,
That's ugly. Did everybody just walk around like that? Damn.
Dreamed of anything such as that. I mean, I must honestly say, my opinion was based on movies I have seen, on the attempted assassination of Theodore Roosevelt and the other one, Franklin Roosevelt. And both of these had Secret Service men up in windows.
Yeah, Theodore and the other one.
Buildings with rifles. And this is how my opinion was based and why it didn't alarm me. Perhaps if I'd been older and had more experience in life, it might have made a difference. It very well could have.
Here's what's insane. Here's what's insane about this, is that when you look at all the facts, Lee Harvey Oswald is stupid. He's so dumb. Like, he's the dumbest assassin to ever walk this earth. But the people of Dallas, Texas are stupider. They are stupider. This man literally, he was like, oh, there's a man up there with a gun. Better not say anything about it. Here's the thing. Had Lee Harvey Oswald been Secret Service, right? Then, like, they wouldn't have had to, like, do anything about it. Like there was absolutely no harm. And he was like, you know what, actually, I don't think I will report that man holding a gun. These people, like, here's the thing. I can't honestly say that I'd be any better, right? I wasn't there, as far as you know. I wasn't there. I don't know how I would have reacted to that kind of thing, but like, it's really hard not to think these people are just a little bit not the sharpest in the box.
Do you ever have reoccurring dreams, sir?
What?
Do you ever have reoccurring dreams?
Oh, now he's fucking spiraling in the interview.
This is a reoccurring dream of mine, sir. All the time. What if I told someone about it? I knew about it enough.
He looks like his name could be Tim.
Perhaps it could have been prevented. I mean, this is something which shakes me up at times.
If Rowland's recollection is accurate, it stands in direct conflict with that of Bonnie Williams, who claimed to have eaten lunch on the same floor at the same time. Williams neither saw nor heard anyone, despite having an unobstructed view down to the southwest corner of the building where Rowland claimed to have seen the gunman. A few minutes later, a different spectator named Howard Brennan spotted a white man pacing to and fro the easternmost window.
Yeah, I'm inclined to believe that our boy Arnold, who lies awake at night about this decision that he didn't make, is just wrong about the direction. Because he said what? Leftmost? Like, if you're looking at it, it would be the leftmost window. But it was actually from the rightmost window. I literally think he just got his directions mixed up. I'm inclined not to believe that account with such specificity, as opposed to not believing Bonnie Williams, like the guy who was sitting there, you know?
On the 6th floor. At 12:30, the
How big was the sniper's nest? Would he have had the room to pace?
Driving north from Houston. As the car made a sharp left turn at Elm, a high school student named Amos Ewens glanced up at the book depository and caught sight of a protruding metal rod.
Protruding rod.
Few realized what had happened. Was it a firecracker, backfired?
That gunshot was somebody trying for me after making that joke.
People near the Rollins even started laughing, perhaps feeling a bit foolish for being frightened by the ostensibly harmless explosion. Standing by the northwest corner of Elm in Houston was James Worrell. He thought the explosion had come from directly overhead. Sure enough, on one of the upper floors, Worrell could see the barrel of a gun.
By the way, have you seen there's like 2 videos that like capture the exact moment he was shot. I've seen them. It's insane. His head like explodes. Like it's crazy. Like the blood just goes everywhere. Oh my god. Like
At that moment, a second explosion echoed through Dealey Plaza. Worrell and Ewens witnessed the recoil and muzzle flash of the rifle in concurrence with the sound. Brennan had yet to realize what was happening. He thought a firecracker had been thrown from the book depository. He looked up, and the man he'd seen pacing only minutes before was now aiming down the sights of a rifle.
My knees.
It's not known for sure, but it is believed that President Kennedy has been shot.
President Kennedy and Texas Governor John Connally shot.
F in the chat for our boy John F. Kennedy.
Brennan could only recall hearing 2 shots, but his testimony implies he might have heard 3. He confusingly said he saw the gunman fire the last shot, yet denied seeing the discharge of the rifle. In the immediate aftermath of the shooting, the rifle was seen by a handful of witnesses as the gunman cautiously
Good try.
from the window.
Good try.
The rifle, or what looked like
a rifle,
was drawn fairly slowly back into the building, and I saw no one in the window with it. I didn't even see a form in the window.
Guy looks like an actor.
His hand, you know, the rifle laying across his hand, and I could see his hand sticking out on the trigger part. After he got through, he just pulled it back in the window.
He drew the gun back from the window, as though he was drawing it back to his side, and maybe paused for another second, as though to assure himself that he hit his mark, and then he disappeared.
Neither Ewens nor Worrell saw the face of the gunman, and could thus offer little to no.
This guy, James Worrell, that is the most terrifying smile I've ever seen on a man. I don't like that at all. Yeah, I don't like that. He doesn't look real. He looks like Max Headroom. I don't like that.
His appearance. Arnold was quite some distance away, yet furnished a basic description of the man he'd seen about a quarter of an hour before the shooting. A description that was quite similar to the one provided by...
Why are there so many high school students just sitting around watching the president drive by? They would not let out of my high school for that.
Paint a picture of an assassin on the 6th floor of the book depository, taking aim with a rifle and firing at the president from the sniper's nest. But other accounts leave room for a bit of doubt. As previously mentioned, Arnold Rowland spotted a white man with a rifle in the westernmost window on the 6th floor about 12:15. But as late as 5 minutes before the shooting, Arnold observed an elderly black man leaning out the easternmost window on the same floor. He might have confused the 6th floor with the 5th, where James Drummond, Bonnie Williams, and Harold Norman did indeed lean out the windows. In fact, they were the only black employees known to have watched the motorcade from a floor above the 1st. Except they could hardly be described as elderly. But then, take a listen to this.
Will you describe with as much particularity as you can what that man looked like?
It seemed to me an elderly black man. That is about all. I didn't pay very much attention to him.
This question was then repeated to Arnold a few minutes later, at which point his answer had dramatically changed.
He was very thin, an elderly gentleman. Bald or practically bald. Very thin hair if he wasn't bald. Had on a plaid shirt. I think it was red and green. Very bright color. That is why I remember.
Racially motivated. Racially motivated. No fucking way.
Possibly 55 or 60.
Nah.
Can you give us an estimate as to height?
Was 50 considered elderly back then?
In that neighborhood. He was very slender, very thin.
Can you give us a
No.
more definite description as to complexion?
Very dark or fairly dark. Not real
No.
dark compared to some black men, but fairly dark. Seemed like his face was either, I can't recall detail, but it was either very wrinkled or marked in some way.
So, in the span of a few minutes, Arnold went from "I didn't pay very much attention" to describing the man's complexion, hair, clothing, age, height,
Arnold.
build, and even the blemishes on his face.
Arnold, this ain't looking good for you.
Sometimes some people are prone to exaggerate more than others, and without in any way meaning to take away from the testimony of your husband as to what he saw in the building at the time, just from your general experience, do you feel you
Wait.
can rely
Wait a minute. Wait. Wait, so this was 1963. Okay, wait, so this happened in 1963. They were high school students. They were high school students. But by 1964, they were married? Oh my god. Wait. Hold on. How old were they, like, exactly? Wait, hold on. 29 April 1945. 1964 minus. Oh. Boomer. 19! He was married at 19. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Oh my god. I could not even imagine. I could not even fucking imagine. Fucking insane.
on everything that your husband says?
No way.
I don't feel that I can rely on everything anybody says.
Well, this is really an unfair question for me to ask any wife about her husband, and I am not asking it very correctly,
At
but
times, my husband is prone to exaggerate. Does that answer it?
I think it does. Is there anything else you want
Arnold.
to add or not?
Usually, his exaggerations are not concerned with anything other than himself. They're usually to boost his ego. They usually say that he's really smarter than he is, or he's a better salesman than he is. Something like that.
As leading as that line of questioning was, Barbara was not alone in
All the wives in this video are like, yeah, no, my husband ain't shit. No loyalty.
Not to trust everything he says. He was characterized as someone who would not hesitate to fabricate a story and not regarding any matter. Indeed, Roland lied or exaggerated on multiple occasions when he testified. Another witness who claimed to have seen a gunman in the Book DePaul story was Carolyn Walter. Shortly before the arrival of the motorcade, Walter had seen a man with blonde or light brown hair in one of these windows on the 4th or 5th floor. She explicitly ruled that the 6th. It should be noted, however, that during the shooting, this window was closed with the blinds down, while this one, as you already know, was occupied by Bonnie Williams and Harold Norman. In any case, the light-haired man seen by Walter was holding a machine gun, and standing beside him was another man wearing a brown suit. Much like Arnold Roland, Walter assumed the gunman was a presidential guard and refrained from telling the police. In fact, there's no evidence she told anyone of what she'd seen, not even the colleague with whom she watched the motorcade. In Walter's defense, 2 other witnesses recalled seeing a man with light or light brown hair on the 5th or 6th floor, except they never saw a weapon nor an accomplice. Disagreements regarding the floors were at least in part due to the ground floor lacking visible windows.
How do you know it was the 6th floor? 6th floor rather than the 5th floor?
I went with the FBI and I showed them the window, and I didn't count the bottom floor.
You mean the first time you gave a statement, you didn't count the bottom floor?
That's right.
Another source of confusion was the
Imagine like openly telling somebody that.
7th floor and the ones below.
When you first glance at the building, you're thrown off a little as to the floors because there's a ridge. It almost looks like a structure added onto the top of the building, about 1 story above. So you have to recount.
Not only that, but multiple witnesses described the 6th floor as the 2nd floor from the top. But in the chaos that ensued, it seems the tail end of that sentence was not always recorded.
This is a mess. This is a disaster.
Amos Ewens is another curious witness because even though he never saw the gunman's face, he did see the top of his head. Somehow.
What did you see in the building?
I saw a bald spot on this man's head. Trying to look out the window, he had a bald spot on his head. I was looking at the bald spot.
Oswald did not have a bald spot. He was thinning a bit in the front, but otherwise had a full head of hair. But the
Roasted.
His account is somewhat diminished by his inability to recall.
A lot of these eyewitness accounts are like describing other people, are like a lot of people being like, no, he was ugly as fuck. Literally the most unsightly man I've ever seen. I need you to imagine like a troll, but like in a human's body. It's just, you're so mean. You're so mean with how objective they are with their facts. They're like, no, yeah, he had a bald spot. I was looking at it. I was staring at that shit. I was like, wow, fucking baldy, bro. He must have been thinning quite a bit though, because from I was gonna say from like Arnold's description of it being an elderly man to this guy's like Amos's description of it being like having a bald spot. Like he must have been thinning significantly at the time. But like the caveat to that is that I don't believe anything Arnold says after that little addition to his testimony a little while ago. Like
much of anything else.
Could you tell whether he was a black gentleman or a white man?
No, sir.
Black gentleman or white man. I know people who do that and make that distinction when they talk about people. It's really weird. Please stop doing it.
Now, could you tell what color hair he had?
No, sir.
Could you tell whether his hair was dark or light?
No, sir.
Long after the assassination, 15 years to be precise, a journalist working for the Dallas Morning News tracked down a man named Johnny Powell. Powell had supposedly seen two men fiddling with a scope on a rifle in the sniper's nest. He described their complexion as darker than white.
Ain't no way he saw it from that far away.
Again, one has to wonder if he confused the gunmen with Jarman, Williams, and Norman on the floor below. I mean, after 15 years of silence, there's no telling how Powell's memory could have been distorted. A good example of such distortion is Richard Carr. A few minutes before the shooting, Carr had been standing roughly here.
Okay, that I don't believe you. I don't believe you. No way.
Way over here.
No, absolutely no way.
The man was white and wore a
You're making shit up.
Glasses and sport coat. In the immediate aftermath of the shooting, Carr returned to ground level and caught sight of what he believed to be the same man now trotting south on Houston. He made a left turn right about here before being picked up by a station wagon.
Nah.
By 1969, however, Carr's story had notably changed. The man with a sport coat had now been standing on the 5th floor, not the 7th. After the shooting, Mr. Sportcoat had emerged from behind the book depository, accompanied by two other men. They too had been picked up by a separate station wagon before speeding away.
No.
It's unclear how Carr is supposed to have seen all of this, considering what he told the FBI back in '64.
Carr advised that from his location on the steel structure of the new courthouse building, it would have been impossible for him to observe the lower floors and entrance of the book depository, and that from his position he could only see the top floor and the roof.
In Carr's defense, James Worrell had seen a man emerge from the rear entrance of the book depository about 3 minutes after the shooting. This man also wore a sport coat and headed south on Houston. Except the man seen by Carr was kinda stocky and wore a hat, while the man seen by Worrell had a slender build and was hatless. Besides, anyone connected with the shooting, leaving via the rear entrance, would surely have headed north, not towards the scene of the crime. As if that was not enough, two other witnesses, James Romack and George Rackley, stood roughly here for several minutes after the shooting. Both of them paid special attention to the rear entrance of the building.
Mr. Romack stated that from the time he heard the shots, he walked toward the book depository and had under his immediate observation the loading dock and the back door. He stated he is positive that no one came out of this door or out of
This entire case is fucking insane. My brain is melting.
Could you see the back door of the Texas School Book Depository?
Yes.
Were you looking towards that direction?
Yes, sir.
About how long did you keep your eyes fixed over there?
Oh, I would say 5 minutes anyhow. Probably 10. I was looking up that way at all times.
Did you see any people leave the Texas School Book Depository by way of the rear exit?
No, sir.
Did you see any people running north on Houston Street?
No, sir.
Unfortunately, conflicting accounts were not limited to the book depository. Among the hundreds of witnesses in the vicinity of Dealey Plaza, nothing was as disputed as the number and origin of the gunshots.
Governor Connolly's hole in his stomach.
And the shots were almost simultaneously, weren't they?
Yes, sir. They were probably 10 seconds apart.
Do you know who fired the third shot?
I didn't hear I don't recall a third shot. There may have been. My family hit the ground, and I don't recall a third shot. I just couldn't, I'm not certain of that. I do know I heard 2 shots.
Yeah, I heard 3. I know
You
there
heard
were 3.
3. Well,
yeah, I said to Jerry after the second shot, I said, my God, those are gunshots.
Can you imagine? Because, you know, like, people who run those interviews, they try to do, like, the whole, like, oh, they do, like, the leading question thing. They gotta lead you on. They're like, hey, man, if they want you to give a specific, like, piece of information, they kind of try to trick you into it so that way you're not feeling influenced by the directness of a question. And they get your honesty the first time instead of needing to dig through lies, right? But can you imagine doing one of those interviews and one of them, like, the interviewer is like, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. No, there were 3. No, there were 3. You and your family are wrong. I don't care how hard you hit it. No, no, there were 3. I heard 3. I know there were 3 because I heard 3. You're wrong. I think I'd choose violence at that point. I'd be like, okay, well, fucking crazy.
No one knows exactly how many spectators were in or near Dealey Plaza at the time of the assassination. Well over 200 were at some point questioned by a combination of authorities, journalists and others. Attempts have been made to consolidate the various accounts, and it's clear from all such attempts that the majority of witnesses heard 3 shots. What's a bit less clear is the source of the explosions. The gunman was either placed in the vicinity of the Book Depository, marked here in red, or an area west of the building, marked in green, known as the Grassy Knoll. But as you can see from
the grassy
charts,
I was born in the Grassy Knoll, actually. Did you guys know that?
It's highly susceptible to bias. It's a surprisingly subjective exercise that can lead to widely different results. Nevertheless, there were a substantial number of witnesses who pointed to the Grassy Knoll, located roughly here, and many of them were scattered throughout the plaza. To give you some examples, August Campbell was standing near the front entrance of the Book Depository, yet believed the shots had come from the Grassy Knoll. Meanwhile, Marilyn Sitzman was standing on the Grassy Knoll, yet believed the shots had come from the Book Depository.
Why, EP? Thank you for the first time chat, because I'm so tired.
Standing by the curb in front of Sitzman was
tired of this mystery. I wish the CIA would just admit they did it already. Ha ha ha. Hello, how are you?
In one of the Grassy Knoll. Indeed, countless authors and even a congressional investigation have done precisely that. Now, the scope of this video is
wake up, Pippi.
Exhaustive enough for me to attempt any conclusions regarding a second gunman, but I do want to leave you with this. You might have seen these unlabeled blue slices before. Well, that's how many witnesses heard gunshots coming from multiple directions.
Ooh.
That is to say, next to no one did. All the shots came either.
I just had V-Burger after walking home in the rain. Oh, the rain's the best. I hope you didn't get sick from being so wet, but
Mr. Campbell believed the noise came from
I appreciate some good rain.
Depository. This illusion, he explained, may have been due to the sound bouncing off the building and other objects in the vicinity.
August Campbell was far from alone in being deceived by the pronounced echoes of the gunshots.
Where did the noises or shots sound to you like they came from?
It was hard to tell because they had an echo, you know.
I don't like this guy's face.
Actually, 2 explosions with each one. There was the shot and then the echo from it. So it was hard to tell.
All these law enforcement officers. I'm sorry. I just paused on this guy's face, and I don't like looking at it. He looks like a thumb in like a really terrifying way. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, I don't like that. Get him off my screen.
An echo which gave me a sound all over. In other words, that square is it had a sound all over. The sounds came either from up against the school depository building or near the mouth of the Triple Underpass. I had worked in this watchtower for some 10 or 12 years and was there during the time they were renovating the school depository building and had noticed at that time the similarity of sounds occurring in either of those 2 locations. There's a reverberation which takes place from either location.
This auditory illusion was not a fluke. Not only did the buildings surrounding Dealey Plaza act as an echo chamber, but even experienced hunters can struggle to pinpoint the number and origin of gunshots by sound alone. Here's a quote from a book on that very topic, published a few years before the assassination.
Little credence should be put in what anyone says about a shot or even the number of shots. These things coming upon a person suddenly or generally
Deem hydrate or deem posture check. Ah. Stretch. Thank you, Carmen.
Huh?
Huh? Oh, I love stretching. Cat, stretch me. My fucking shit is activating at once. I'm not actually crying. Come on. There we go. My goodness, you're barraging us with sound.
That's your fucking mother!
Goodness. That's your fucking mother. Show some respect. Who raised you? Are you watching a video on when JFK got shot? Yeah, we are watching a video on when JFK got shot. This is our cozy Saturday agenda. Cozy Saturday. And we are watching a video about the death of the president. Just noting your strawberry. Yeah, I'm a strawberry frog. Pippi Ananasa. That's me, Nachiroshi. Kero and welcome.
Recorded in their memory. One of the authors asked one
Very adorable. Thank you.
how many shots another hunter less than 100 yards away had fired.
You're stupid!
Frog.
Actually, only 2 shots were fired.
Ooh,
Employees
roasted.
in the Book the Past story were no less confused about the gunshots than the spectators outside. To give you some examples, on the first floor,
Instant love. Waha!
that appear to come from inside.
Yes,
the
they're
building.
green and pink.
On the third floor, Edna Case and Sandra Ellison heard nothing. Meanwhile, Stephen Wilson on the same floor heard 3
Wait,
shots.
hold up. Edna Case and Sandra Ellerson heard nothing. On the third floor, 2 floors below, where somebody was upstairs busy killing the president. That's crazy. No way.
Stephen Wilson on the same floor heard 3 shots, came from the west. On the 4th floor, Elsie Dorman, multiple shots came from this building across the street. Victoria Adams, 3 shots from the west. Mary Hollis, 3 shots inside the building. But some employees not only heard the shots, but could literally
No, those 2 were paid off. Ain't no way.
Building.
Could you tell where the shots were coming from?
Yes, sir. They came from inside the building.
How do you know that?
Because the building vibrated from the result of the explosion coming in.
Did you...
I refuse to believe that. Me too. There's no way.
They sounded almost like cannon shots.
Somebody passed them at 20 and they were like, I don't hear anything. What do you mean? What gunshot?
Bonnie Williams could feel the explosions up on the 5th. It sounded to Williams as though the shots had been fired from the floor above. His colleague, James Jarman, initially thought the shots had come from somewhere below, but then changed his mind and agreed with Williams.
This is stressing me out.
Meanwhile, heard far more than gunshots.
Just after the president passed by, I heard a shot. And several seconds later, I heard 2 more shots. I knew that the shots had come from directly above me, and I could hear the expended cartridges fall to the floor. I could also hear the bolt action of the rifle.
The explosions shook the building, and a piece of loose plaster or dirt was dislodged.
2 quid these. Bet you 2 quid these videos comments are turned off. Well, let's see. No, they're not. But they are full of like. Literally all the comments are either like, oh my god, let me know video. Oh my god, this guy's videos are so fucking good. Or they're like, bullshit. Bullshit, I don't believe it. Blah, 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 blah. That's like, those are the 2 comments that I saw on my brief scroll.
Meanwhile, spectators on the streets below could see them leaning out the windows, looking up at the 6th floor.
I just looked straight up ahead of me.
Oh, thank you so much for the subby. Thank you. Kero.
2 black men in a window, straining to see directly above them. And my eyes followed right up to the window above them, and I saw the rifle, or what looked like a rifle.
Frightened and somewhat entranced by the pandemonium outside, the 3 men remained on the 5th floor for several minutes. Meanwhile, the apparent assassin upstairs was now in a race against time.
Did you hear anything upstairs at all?
No, sir. I didn't hear anything.
Any footsteps?
I love frogs. Ah, thank you. I'm Frog.
The shots, we were running too, and that was making a louder noise.
Why didn't you go up to the 6th floor?
That's the dumbest question I've ever heard in my life. That's so dumb. Oh, you heard gunshots up on the 6th floor above you? Why didn't you go up there? Huh? Why didn't you go up and investigate? Me? He says he really doesn't know. What he means is, are you stupid?
We really don't know. We just never did think about it. Maybe it's because we were frightened.
No way. No way he really... Why didn't you go up to the 6th floor? Are you boo-boo? Insane. Let me go towards the person with a gun.
Again, motorcycle policeman Marion Baker had just made a right turn from Main Street to Houston. Baker recognized the explosions as gunfire and could see a flock of pigeons fluttering above 2 buildings
Pigeons.
ahead. Baker made a split-second decision and headed for the book depository. Once inside, he was greeted by Roy Truly. Truly directed Baker to the elevators, but neither was available. He pressed the button while shouting up the elevator shaft for someone upstairs to close the gate. No response. Instead, they began running up the stairs.
I'm not the only person who... Pigeons. Pigeons. It's fun. It's funny to pronounce every part of a word.
Truly was ahead of me, and as I come out, I was kind of scanning, you know, the rooms, and I caught a glimpse of this man walking away from this. I happened to see him through this window in this door. I don't know how come I saw him, but I had a glimpse of him coming down there.
Where was he coming from, do you know?
No, sir. All I seen of him was a glimpse of him go away from me.
What did you do?
I hollered at him at that time and said, "Come here." He turned and walked right straight back to me.
What did you say to him?
I didn't get anything out of him. Mr. Truly had come up to my side here, and I turned to Mr. Truly and I says, "Do you know this man? Does he work here?" And he said, "Yes." And I turned immediately and went on out up the stairs.
The man whom Baker and Truly encountered in the 2nd floor lunchroom was none other than...
Do I even have to say anything about how stupid this is? I don't have to say anything. I'll be getting some coffee. Enjoy your coffee. Because, like... Okay, so... You POV, alright? Just put yourself in some shoes here. You are absolutely convinced that you saw a gunshot come from inside this building, right? Why then would you think to excuse somebody from any sort of causation, like blame? What am I trying to say here? Why would you think not to count anybody from being the part of this like gunshot that you saw and heard just because they work in the building that you're convinced the gunshot came from? This is dumb. The fact that Lee Oswald got away for as long as he did is insanity. It's absolute insanity. And luck. It is God-given luck.
Lasting no more than 30 seconds. Oswald appeared calm and failed to evoke suspicion, so Truly and Baker left him in the lunchroom.
Aw, not the abandoned Cokes.
They spent some time searching the roof, but there was no assassin to be found. Down by the main entrance, Geraldine Reed was still trying to process what had just occurred. She decided to return to her office on the 2nd floor of the building. Here, about 2 minutes after the shooting, Reed became the last known person to have seen Oswald inside the book depository.
I kept walking and I looked up and Oswald was coming in the back door of the office. I met him by the time I passed my desk by several feet, and I told him, I said, "Oh, the president has been shot, but maybe they didn't hit him." He mumbled something to me.
The president has been shot, but maybe they didn't hit him.
I didn't pay any attention to what he said because I had no thoughts of him having any connection with the shooting at all, because he was very calm.
Oswald is then presumed to have taken the front stairs, and on his way out the main entrance, encountered someone looking for a phone. There are at least 2 candidates for who this person might have been, but Oswald seems to have pointed out the phone inside the building before blending into the chaos outside. He was next observed boarding a bus.
That's crazy. Me when I shoot the president and I leave just in time to catch the bus.
Nearly 4 months after the assassination, Trulian Baker participated in a crude reconstruction of the shooting to time their movements. The experiment was repeated twice. On the first attempt, it took them 1 minute and 30 seconds to reach the second floor lunchroom. Then, 1 minute and 15 seconds. These time trials were primarily conducted to determine whether Oswald could have fired the shots from the 6th floor and still made it down to the second in time for his encounter with Trulian Baker. After all, if there wasn't enough time, Oswald could not have been the assassin. A bunch of different routes were tested, and while Oswald could theoretically have taken one of the elevators or even the fire escape, in practice there wasn't enough time.
You do not think the assassin used any of the elevators at any time to get from the 6th to the 2nd floor?
You mean after the shooting? No, sir. He just could not, because those elevators, I saw myself, were both on the 5th floor. They were both even.
The only other means of descent was the stairway. A stand-in for the gunman trotted down from the 6th floor to the 2nd in 1 minute and 18 seconds. Then, at a slightly faster pace, in 1 minute and 14 seconds. There was just enough time. It's therefore possible that Oswald stopped on the 2nd floor, perhaps upon hearing Truly shouting up the elevator shaft, and attempted to hide in the lunchroom mere seconds ahead of Truly and Baker's arrival. But it's not quite that simple, because Oswald was not the only person using the stairway to escape the building.
This video is melting my brain. There's no way. The fuck?
As previously mentioned, Victoria Adams watched the motorcade from an office on the 4th floor of the Book Depository. Within 30 seconds of the shooting, Adams ran down the stairs.
God, I'm gonna take a nap after stream. Oh my god.
Sandra Stiles.
When you got to the bottom of the 1st floor, did you see anyone there as you entered the 1st floor from the stairway?
Yes, sir.
Who did you see?
Mr. William Shelley and Billy Lovelady.
Now,
Lovelady, that's one hell of a surname.
Lovelady.
I said I believed the president was shot.
Do you remember what they said?
Nothing.
Then what did you do?
I proceeded out to the Houston.
How long are you streaming for? Until I get tired.
There are 2 significant problems with Adams' account. The first
Like an
being
EP.
that she and Stiles supposedly left the
I mean, okay, listen.
within 30 seconds of the
I'm already EP, but until I get EP'er, until I don't feel like streaming anymore. What time is it where you're at? It is 4:20. Ooh, blaze it. I'm so tired. Actually, I can't take a nap. You're already EV. Okay, listen. Just until I don't feel like streaming anymore, I think is the verdict. But yeah, we're gonna watch this video, and then depending on how long this takes, I know I'm pausing a lot, but that's the Pippi Ananas special. Yeah, we're gonna watch this video and then maybe another one. But yeah, we don't really have anything like energy spending on the books, so that'll be about what streaming is today.
Shooting, and then ran down the stairs to the 1st. This would place them in approximate sync with Oswald, descending from the 6th floor to the 2nd.
Now, as you were running down the stairs, did you encounter anyone?
Not during the actual running down the stairs. No, sir.
Did you hear anyone using the stairs?
No, sir.
But okay, perhaps Oswald
Insane.
was a few flights above, and his footsteps were drowned out by their own. This would mean that Stiles and Adams left the 4th floor mere seconds ahead of Oswald's arrival, reached the ground floor mere seconds ahead of Roy Truly and Mary.
Hang with me later? Yeah, of course. I love hanging with you.
Shelley and Billy Lovelady right about here. But this is when problem number 2 makes an entrance. When the president was shot, Shelley and Lovelady...
If you want to join me at any point, you can too.
Story. They spent several minutes roaming about outside before returning to the building. And that's the problem. How did Stiles and Adams encounter Shelley and Lovelady within seconds of the shooting if it took them several minutes to return to the building?
Where did you see
I hate the questions he's asking right now, bro. It's
story?
bending my brain.
I wouldn't swear to it. It's Vicky.
What is her full name?
I wouldn't know.
Vicky Adams?
I believe so.
Would you say it was Vicky you saw?
I couldn't swear.
Where was the girl?
I don't remember what place she was, but I remember seeing a girl and she was talking to Shelly or saw Shelly or something.
I hope.
Recall no such incident.
I hope to God I never end up in a situation like this, because if they start grilling me and I can't remember every single detail, oh my God, listening to them talk is pissing me off. Like, what do you mean you don't, like, what do you mean you don't know who you saw? Like, yeah, if I ever am in the questioning chair, I hope I'm never in a questioning chair, because oh my God, this is, ugh.
Presuming that Lovelady was correct and Shelley had a lapse of memory, it's possible their encounter with Stiles and Adams occurred minutes rather than seconds after the shooting. After all, Adams could have been mistaken. This scenario implies that Oswald made his escape, Truely and Baker went upstairs, and then several minutes later, Stiles and Adams left the building. But it's not quite that simple.
Azuzon, thanks for the first time chat. How's it going? Welcome to the pond.
Miss Garner stated this morning that after Miss Adams went downstairs, Miss Garner, saw Mr. Truly and the policeman come up.
Not only does this account corroborate that of Adams, meaning they left within seconds, not minutes, but it implies that Garner was in a position to observe the stairway from somewhere on the 4th floor. In spite of
they're making the whole nurse to the point where they don't remember details. They forget everything. Yeah.
Between Stiles and Adams' departure and Truly
and they've done studies where like people's eyewitness accounts really are not
this conflict so difficult
like
to resolve is that neither Stiles nor Garner were
sorry. I've been off my medicine for a couple weeks now. I can't. I need to be able to speak full sentences. They've done studies where like people's eyewitness accounts are just not as like rock solid as like they used to be, like, you know, very convinced that they were. But like still, like the thought of being like in a situation like this where they're like grilling you and you don't remember and the pressure is making everything worse, like, oh God. It'd be going, well, how about yourself? I'm tired and I'm kind of food coming because I had like a really big lunch. I'm so comfy right now. We're having a comfy, cozy stream where we're learning about the JFK assassination.
We have but a few brief statements.
Feel free to get comfy with us.
All we know about Sandra Stiles is that she went down the stairs with Adams. Did it happen within seconds of the shooting? We don't know. Did she see or hear anyone else while running down the stairs? We don't know. Did she encounter Shelley and Lovelady on the 1st floor? We don't know. Authorities appear to have presumed Adams unreliable and then ignored
not common assigning me a babysitter.
Confirm that presumption. A simple reenactment.
Anyway, enjoy your shower.
Baker could have gone a long way to resolve this issue. But that never happened. Many decades after the assassination, author Barry Ernest was able to track down Sandra Stiles, Dorothy Garner, and Victoria Adams. Stiles confirmed that she and Adams left the window within seconds of the shooting, but she doesn't explicitly say they left the 4th
You better be clear with your answers. Just yeah.
In any case, as they
oh my God, they could like spin it around and make it sound like you did it. Oh, I don't trust like that.
Garner confirmed she never witnessed the descent of Oswald.
I hope these people had lawyers with them.
Baker heading upstairs. Adams went a bit further and accused investigators of tampering with their testimony.
I'm beginning to wonder if the Shelley and Lovelady encounter was inserted into my testimony later. I remember saying to a fairly big black man inside the building, right near the loading dock, right after I got down the stairs, that I thought the president may have been shot.
Sandra Stiles apparently told Ernest something similar.
A few people were milling around on the 1st floor. One was a black man. Shelley and Lovelady were definitely not on the 1st floor when we got there.
The only black employees who could have possibly made it to the rear stairway in time were Carl Jones, Roy Lewis, Eddie Piper, and Troy West. What you see here are their approximate positions at the time of the shooting, but during the seconds and minutes that followed, only Piper is known to have paid any attention to the stairs in the back. As soon as the shooting began, Piper crossed the 1st floor to get a better view of a clock. He remained in roughly this location until he observed...
So what is this you're watching? We are watching the Let Me Know video that came out a couple of days ago.
Had anybody come down?
Is the Kennedy assassination inside the book depository. It is focused entirely on the book depository as opposed to like the assassination itself. It is very stressful. It is going through all the eyewitnesses and none of it matches up. And Chat and I are panicking on this cozy Saturday. We don't like it here.
Steps before Truly and Baker went up the steps.
No, sir.
Did Vicky Adams come down before Truly and Baker went up the steps?
No, sir. No, sir. She didn't do it.
God.
Remember James Romack and George
How many people in the building? This is interesting. It is interesting, but it's also like, oh my God, nobody has their story straight. What happened in there?
Booked the Paul story via the rear entrance for several minutes after the shooting. Well, the thing is, according to both Stiles and Adams, they left the book depository via the rear entrance upon reaching the first floor. So if Romack and Rackley are to be believed, then once again, the descent of Stiles and Adams must have taken place minutes rather than seconds after the shooting.
Oh my god!
Not only that, but when Sandra Stiles was contacted by another researcher, she apparently expressed great uncertainty regarding the stairwell descent and thought it might in fact have occurred a couple of minutes after the shooting.
I'm gonna start banging my head on my desk.
I don't know what to make of all this. The conspiracy crowd will, of course, amplify the more suspicious elements, while those who support the official narrative will focus on that which discredits Adams. But ultimately, we don't know the exact timeline of events. It's difficult enough to pin down the minute-by-minute chronology.
They are dressed like your average gay friend group. They're off to go see an indie movie.
Once we get down to seconds, there's a lot of guesswork at play. The time trials by Truly and Baker gives us a rough estimate, but that's not cast in stone. They could have easily been a bit faster, a bit slower. So too could have Shelley, Lovelady, Garner, Stiles, Adams, and Oswald.
Would you say that the reconstruction that we did on March the 20th was a minimum or a maximum time?
Oh, I would say that would be the minimum time. We did everything that I did that day, and this would be the minimum time, because I'm sure that it took me a little longer.
I must also mention that we don't know much about the layout of the fourth floor beyond this crude schematic. If the other floors are any indication, much of
Is
this
the building
space is
still there today? Ooh, that's a good question. Hold on. Texas Book Depository building. Book Depository Museum. Oh, it's a museum now in Dallas, Texas. So yes, it is still there. What does it do? What kind of museum? Now known as the Dallas County Administration Building, is a 7-floor building facing Dealey Plaza in Dallas, Texas. Vantage point. The 6th-floor museum at Dealey Plaza. Hold on. Let's see here. This is from jfk.org. Oh, looks like it is happening now. Browse all our collections. Dealey Plaza interactive guide. You can pretend to kill JFK. Wow. Honestly, that's cool. I like that.
Tall stacks of boxes. This is significant because Dorothy Garner never actually saw Stiles and Adams enter the stairway. She only heard footsteps of what she presumed to be them running down the stairs.
I'd hate to be working on this case, especially because it is definitely an inside job and there's definitely things you can't say and definitely things you can't imply. Oh my god.
Following a quick sweep of the roof, Roy Truly and Marion Baker returned to the ground floor of the book depository.
What did you do when you got back to the first floor, or what did you see?
When I got back to the first floor, at first I didn't see anything except officers running around, reporters in the place. There was a regular madhouse.
Had they sealed off the building yet, do you know?
I am sure they had.
Then what?
Then, in a few minutes, it could have been moments or minutes at a time like that, I noticed some of my boys were over in the west corner of the shipping department, and there were several officers over there taking their names and addresses and so forth. I noticed that Lee Oswald was not among these boys.
Oswald was not the only absentee, but he was the only one whom Truly knew for a fact had left the building after the shooting.
Can I be honest?
Meanwhile, on the 6th floor,
I would have left the building after the shooting. I would have gone home.
attracted the attention of Deputy Luke Mooney.
I went straight across to the southeast corner of the building, and I saw these high boxes. And the minute I squeezed between these two stacks of boxes, I had to turn myself sideways to get in there. That is when I saw the expended shells, and the boxes that were stacked up looked to be a rest for the weapon.
2 windows west of the sniper's nest, authorities found a bottle of Dr. Pepper and some chicken bones, leftovers from the lunch eaten by Bonnie Williams shortly before the assassination. But according to some officers, including Mooney, remains of a similar meal were also found in the sniper's nest.
I'm gonna keep the video going, but I'm gonna be right back. I gotta go refill my water.
If I recall correctly, the chicken bone could have been laying on this box, or it might have been laying on this box right here. There was one of them partially eaten, and there was...
Wait, I can make this really funny. Hold on.
By poke, you mean a paper sack?
Right. The assassin could just maybe take one step and lay it over there if he was the one that put it there.
In spite of this, no such items were ever photographed. Apart from the sack of chicken bones found here, there are no records of leftovers being recovered from anywhere else near the sniper's nest.
Now, did you see a chicken bone over near the boxes in the southeast corner?
I don't believe there was one there.
You didn't see any. One witness, a deputy sheriff named Luke Mooney, said he found a piece of chicken partly eaten on top of one of the boxes. Did you see anything like that?
No.
Was anything like that called to your attention?
I can't recall anything like that.
But it wasn't just the chicken bones. There were similar disagreements regarding the 3 cartridge cases. According to Mooney, Dallas Police Captain William Fritz tampered with the evidence.
Are those the empty shells you found?
Yes, sir.
Now, will you take this marker and encircle the shells?
All right.
They were turned over to Captain Fritz?
Yes, sir. He was the first officer that picked him up, as far as I know. Because I stood there and watched him go over and pick them up and look at them.
Is this the position of the cartridges, as shown in this photograph, as you saw them?
Yes, sir. That is just about the way they were laying. To the best of my knowledge, I do know there was one further away, and these other 2 were relatively close to each other on this particular area. But these cartridges, this one and this one, looks like they are further apart than they actually was.
Now, I didn't quite understand. Did you say that it was your memory that A and B were not that close together?
Just from my memory, it seems that this cartridge ought to have been over this way a little further.
You mean the B cartridge should be closer to the C?
Closer to the C, yes, sir.
Mooney did not explicitly state, but strongly implied that Captain
Okay, hold on.
removed at least one of
Guys,
the
I'm so sorry.
before they were
I kept my headphones on while I was out getting my water. And somebody started talking to me, so I missed a couple minutes. I'm sorry, we gotta go back. Where did these circles come from? Fuck. I heard discussions of like chicken and shit. I was like, where did the chicken come from? Okay, wait. Yeah, like, yeah, just a little bit there.
Windows west of
Sorry, I should have just paused and gone to BRB, but I didn't want y'all to leave.
And some chicken bones, leftovers from the lunch eaten by Bonnie Williams shortly before the assassination.
He just left his fucking chicken bones on the floor?
According to some officers, including Mooney, remains of a similar meal were also found in the sniper's nest.
Oh my god, when you're twinning lunches with the assassin of John F. Kennedy? Wow.
Correctly, the chicken bone could have been laying on this box, or it might have been laying on this box right here. There was one of them partially eaten.
And they left him on the boxes? That's just rude.
By poke, you mean a paper sack?
Right. The assassin could just maybe take one step and lay it over there if he was the one that put it there.
Nah. Now he's just rude.
Apart from the sack of chicken bones found here, there are no records of leftovers being recovered from anywhere else near the sniper's nest.
Now, did you see a chicken bone over near the boxes in the southeast corner?
I don't believe there was one there.
You didn't see any. One witness, a deputy sheriff named Luke Mooney, said he found a piece of chicken.
Hangs head in shame. It's okay, I don't listen to anyone either.
Did you see anything like that?
No.
Was anything like that called to your attention?
I can't recall anything like that.
But it wasn't just the chicken.
They can't even fucking agree if there were chicken bones at the scene of the crime. I fucking hate this case. This case fucking blows chunks.
There were similar disagreements regarding the 3 cartridge cases. According to Mooney, Dallas Police Captain William Fritz tampered with the evidence.
Are those the empty shells you found?
Yes, sir.
Now, will you take this marker and encircle the shells?
My dogs have opinions.
They were turned over to Captain Fritz?
Yes, sir. He was the first officer that picked him up, as far as I know. Because I stood there and watched him go over and pick them up and look at them.
Is this
Pick
the
them
position
up?
of the cartridges, as shown in this photograph, as you saw them?
Yes, sir. That is just about the way they were laying. To the best of my knowledge, I do know there was one further away, and these other 2 were relatively close to each other on this particular area. But these cartridges, this one and this one, looks like they are further apart than they actually was.
Now, I didn't quite understand. Did you say that it was your memory that A and B were not that close together?
Nah.
It seems that this cartridge ought to have been over this way a little further.
You mean the B cartridge should be closer to the C?
But why would you do that?
Yes, sir.
Mooney did not.
What reason do you have?
Strongly implied that Captain Fritz moved at least one of the cartridge cases before they were photographed.
Nah.
According to Fritz, he did everything by the book.
I told him not to move the cartridges, not to touch anything till we could get the crime lab to take pictures of them, just as they were lying there. And I left an officer assigned there to see that that was done. And the crime lab came almost immediately and took pictures and dusted the shells for prints.
Amidst the swarm of officers canvassing the 6th floor was a lone journalist by the name of Thomas Ollier. Ollier was equipped with a camera and actually filmed much of the frantic search effort. About 3 decades later, Ollier made some rather startling claims that were largely consistent with, but also expanded upon those made by Mooney.
After filming the casings, I asked Captain Fritz, who was standing at my side, if I could go behind the barricade and get a close-up shot of the casings. He told me that it would be better if I got my shots from outside the barricade. He then rounded the pile of boxes and entered the enclosure.
This isn't even a bra moment. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Between the barricade and the windows. Fritz then walked to the casings, picked them up, and held them in his hand over the top of the boxes.
No!
I filmed about 8 seconds of a close-up shot of the shell casings in Captain Fritz's hand.
And you were fucking caught in 4K. Fuck.
Portions of Ollier's film have never surfaced. Preservation took a back seat
Bro!
when the film was being prepared for broadcast. Portions of the film were carelessly chopped up and discarded, and fragmentary clips are all that remains today. After supposedly filming the casings in the hand of Captain Fritz, Ollier
Hydrate, thank you.
deceitfully returned to the floor.
Hippie fucking sippy.
Later, Captain Fritz reached into his pocket and handed the casings to Detective Robert Studebaker. Studebaker never saw the original placement.
I cannot fucking believe this.
He tossed them on the floor and photographed them.
I can't fucking believe this.
To counterbalance these allegations of foul play, I must also mention that there were those who found nothing amiss about the cartridge cases.
Did you see a picture taken of the hulls?
Yes, sir.
When the picture was taken, were the hulls in the same position as when you had first seen them?
Yes, sir, they were.
Even Mooney sort of agreed that the casings had not been moved, immediately after explaining that they had been moved. In the testimony we heard a few minutes ago, Mooney was shown this photograph. He then examined this one, taken from a different angle, before being shown this one. Now, these two are just differently cropped copies of the same photograph.
I have another picture. Here is a picture taken, also from another angle. Does that show the cartridges?
Yes, sir.
Now, compare that with the other photograph. Is that about the way it looked?
Yes, sir. That is right. It sure is.
That doesn't really gel with the casings.
He really said, corporate wants you to tell the difference between these two pictures. They're the same picture. Oh my god, bro. No!
Haphazardly tossed
That's
up on
not
the floor,
real!
as Ollier would claim decades later. While there are question marks surrounding the chicken bones and cartridge cases, there can be no doubt that some of the boxes in the sniper's nest were moved prior to being photographed.
No!
Do you have any pictures of the boxes near the window before they were moved, other than those you have showed me?
Just these two.
Then you don't have any pictures taken of the boxes before they were moved?
No.
Picture. Was that taken by you?
Yes.
Does that show the position of the boxes before or after they were moved?
That's after they were dusted. There's fingerprint dust on every box.
And they were not in that position then when you first saw them?
No.
No, this cannot be fucking real.
The sniper's nest was
My
discovered.
god.
A bolt-action rifle was found between 2 rows of boxes near the stairway. Now, there was some initial confusion regarding its make and model. Some thought it looked like a Mauser, but upon closer inspection, it was identified as an Italian Carcano. The officer who misidentified the rifle later explained that he did so at a glance.
Why?
However, over a decade
You know
after
what?
the assassination,
You know what? Don't answer that why question, because the alternative is you picking up the fucking rifle and rotating it around your hands for a while and being like, yeah, no, this looks like a 6.5mm Italian Carcano M9138 carbine, and then just fucking chucking it, no, passing it to somebody else and having them fucking chucking it willy-nilly where they think it might have fit. Oh, I hate this case fucking sucks.
In 1976, a former deputy sheriff by the name of Roger Craig claimed
your hat is stupid, I don't like you.
.5 Mauser stamped right on the barrel of the rifle. To some, this is evidence that a Mauser was in fact discovered on the 6th floor before being swapped for a Carcano.
What do you mean swapped?
Craig was the only person to make this specific claim, did so many years after the assassination, and after telling a journalist...
Okay, alright, never mind, I don't believe you,
Did you handle that rifle on the 6th floor?
Yes, I did. I couldn't give its name because I don't know foreign rifles. I know it was foreign made, and you loaded it down into a built-in clip. But there was another rifle, a Mauser, found up on the roof of the depository that afternoon.
The roof?
There were no reports of a Mauser being found on the roof either. Besides, the only rifle seen in the film taken by Thomas Ollier is unmistakably a markings on the cartridge cases would later prove that this was indeed the rifle from which all three had been fired. Before the day was over, the rifle had been traced to a company in Chicago, Illinois. The company had sold the rifle to someone named A. Hiddell and shipped it to a post office box in Dallas in early 1963. Alec James Hiddell was a pseudonym known to have been used by Oswald. So there was now a direct link between the shells, the rifle, and Oswald. Not only that, but Oswald's prints were lifted from both the rifle and boxes in the sniper's nest. Apart from the spent shells and the rifle, authorities discovered one other key piece of evidence.
Did you find anything else up in the southeast corner of the 6th floor?
Yes, sir. We found this brown paper sack, or case. It was made out of heavy...
Ew, it looks disgusting.
Similar to the paper that those books in the building was wrapped in. It was just a long, narrow paper bag.
The bag was alleged to have been found here, yet this space is suspiciously empty in all the crime scene photographs.
How long was the paper bag, approximately?
I don't know. I picked it up and dusted it for prints, and they took it down there and sent it.
If another person says, "Oh, I don't know," I'm gonna fucking explode.
And I don't know.
Did you?
I don't know. Fuck you.
No.
Does that show in any of the pictures you took?
No, it doesn't show in any of the pictures.
Detective Robert Studebaker, who had been working as a forensic assistant for less than 2 months, neglected to explain why he never photographed the bag. In Studebaker's defense,
oh
no one
shit!
was on the lookout for a brown paper bag. Assassin, sure, rifle, casings, absolutely, but some debris in a dark-lit corner of the room. It wasn't until the bag was picked up and inspected.
Why does it look like that? It looks so yucky.
Do you remember anything about what the sack looked
I think your
like?
stream froze. No.
It was the sack that the rifle was wrapped up in when it was brought into the building, and it appeared that it could have been used for that.
Now, as you may recall, Wesley Frazier drove Oswald back to Irving on November the 21st to pick up some curtain rods. The following morning,
Okay, yeah, we're back to the curtain rods. Okay, finally.
Both Frazier and his sister, Linnie Randall. According to Frazier, Oswald told him the package contained curtain rods, which he then brought back to Dallas. But you may also recall that Jack Doherty denied seeing such a package.
Okay, yeah, alright, we're back.
That morning.
Yes, when he first came into the door.
It's sticky. No!
Anything in his hands or arms?
Well, not that I could see of.
The thing is, Doherty was not a reliable witness. When questioned by the FBI and Secret Service,
You're
he
downloading
appeared very
something, okay.
confused about times and places. He required assistance.
Lurkers, I appreciate you. If you could give me a little bit of feedback when you had the time, that'd be greatly appreciated. No pressure though.
Having such issues, his testimony is nonetheless riddled with contradictions.
Wait a minute, did you go to lunch?
Well, I went back downstairs to eat lunch. Yes, sir.
What time?
Oh, it was 12 o'clock.
Wait a minute, did you hear the shots before or
No.
after your lunch?
Before.
No.
You heard shots before you ate your lunch.
No.
Yes, I believe I did.
Now, did you hear a shot either before or after lunch?
It was before lunch. It was before lunch.
You think it was before lunch you heard the shot?
I believe it.